Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be continuing with my throwback reviews for The Walking Dead Season 1. Today we're going to be doing The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 5, which was called Wildfire. Okay, so first to explain why I'm doing a review of a Season 1 episode for anyone who's new to the channel and hasn't been following up with the channel for a couple months, or hasn't been. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going back and reviewing the episodes that are missing from this channel, which I had originally reviewed in my first channel, but had to erase them from Season 1. So what I'm doing is I'm going back, reviewing all the rest of the episodes so that my channel has absolutely every episode of The Walking Dead and a review posted for each one, or every episode of The Walking Dead reviews. All the way from the very first episode up to present time, and all the way through until eventually the show ends, which hopefully will be in a while. But that's what I wanted to do because, you know, some people like to go back and watch certain episodes that might be their favorite, want to hear my thoughts on it, hear the review on it, and in-depth review, which is what I do, you guys know that. So, you know, people enjoy that, so I do that. And actually, the funny thing is they still get views even to this day. Like, I check the analytics, and pretty much every episode, there's at least about 100 or 200 people a day for every single episode of The Walking Dead that watch the reviews on a daily basis. So it's something to say about the show, that the show is so fantastic that people are still interested to watch reviews for the earlier seasons at this time. It's funny, I could do a review for Under the Dome, a brand new episode as soon as it airs, and it may or may not get hardly any attention. People may not even watch it. Whereas I can review an episode of Walking Dead from 2 or 3 years ago, and more people will watch that, and more people are interested in that, even aside from my subscribers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just regular people, viewers on YouTube, just going through YouTube, scrolling through, then are interested in some of the other shows that are going on right now this summer, until Breaking Bad hits, which people love that show. So, but not saying that Under the Dome reviews are done or anything like that. I'm going to continue with those, but I'm not going to be doing it every week. I may do it every couple weeks or every few weeks, or do it for, you know, the finale and wrap up for the show. But I may not be doing it every single episode because some of the episodes in Under the Dome haven't been the greatest. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this episode. So how did I feel watching this episode again? I've seen it a bunch of times. I have the Blu-ray for Season 1. Love the series, of course. I've seen, you know, the episodes from Season 1 a few times now. For anyone who doesn't have them or has no way to watch them, you can actually watch pretty much every episode of The Walking Dead on Couch Tuner. So if you go to Google and you search for Couch Tuner, the first link that comes up will be The Walking Dead, and they have every episode from the very first one to the end of Season 3 listed there. You can watch it streaming. However, I'm not advocating pirating of watching the show because I love the series. So please, if you like the series very much, buy it if you can afford it. If you can't, well, sucks. Do what you have to do, you know. But we all love the show, so definitely wanted to complete the review. So Wildfire. So this episode picking up after Vatos. Okay, so if you guys see my review for Vatos, you know I really like that episode a lot. There's a lot of really... There's some elements with the Vatos group that I thought were a little bit... I'm not sure if they're 100%, if they feel 100% natural or realistic. But I do feel it is a great episode overall, especially the ending of it. The camp getting attacked by all these walkers in the middle of the night when they can't see, hard to defend themselves. Rick, along with a good amount of their manpower, has left, and just getting back to the camp to be able to try to help and defend it. You have Amy, who gets bitten right away, pretty much by the, I think it's Greg Nicotero zombie. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure it is. The makeup artist that does all the effects for The Walking Dead. I'm sure he plays a zombie that bites Amy. So that's kind of a neat thing in Vatos. But carrying on from there, we start off the beginning of this episode, and we're just basically dealing with the aftermath of that attack. You have Andrea and Amy. Amy is just kind of lifeless, just laying there. And Andrea basically is, you know, spending her last moments with her, as many as she can do, taking care of her younger sibling, younger sister, feeling probably as a failure that she was not able to protect her, because you know how obviously older siblings it's their responsibility to always feel like they're going to try to protect the younger. So failing at that, obviously having to deal with all that, all the emotions and everything like that, she refuses to let anybody come up and put down Amy, who has been bitten and is going to turn really quickly. So that's a pretty exciting scene when she actually does start to, and you're kind of wondering, like, is Andrea going to do it? Is she not going to do it? And a pretty badass moment for when she actually does it and puts her down. Great acting for the scene from both the Walker turned Amy and from Andrea's actress. I forget her name. And she's had a lot of badass moments in the series, all the way through the series. So I enjoy the character of Andrea very much. I would like to see her continue on, but they wanted to go that route and surprise us all by killing her in season 3 in the finale. So unexpected, but even though that did happen, it's still a touching scene. And some of the things I noticed watching season 1 over again is that the show seems to have a level of emotion with Frank Darabont as the showrunner that afterwards in late season 2, season 3 especially, season 2 has a good amount too, but season 3 especially, it feels like it's lost some of that emotion that comes with it. Like Darabont, from the Shawshank Redemption and a lot of his other work and things like that, I think his best trait as a showrunner, director, or anything of the sort is his ability to make the audience feel emotionally tied and invested in the characters, even if the characters haven't even been there that long. Like Amy and Andrea, we only are just getting to know them and these kinds of things are happening, but yet he's able to make us, through his art of putting together the series and everything, he's able to make us really care for these characters as it's happening. Not that we don't care for characters in season 3, because a lot of them were well established before that, like Andrea, for example. But when we lose Andrea and Amy, or not Andrea, but when we lose Amy, we lose Jim in this, basically this episode, or these couple episodes, we really feel that emotional attachment to them, even though they haven't been in there that long. And I think that's really pretty brilliant. That shows how well the show was made, that we care. Because a lot of times in horror movies and stuff, if you don't get sucked in, it's like, who cares? Who cares? This person died, oh, well, who cares? Whatever. We don't care too much anyway. But in this, you really do get to feel for Andrea as she puts down Amy. Or later on in the episode when you have Jim, and he's infected because he got bitten, and he's just like, you really feel for him, and when he's starting to turn and his bones and everything are just like, he's just basically dying, essentially, from the infection and the delirium that ensues, the hallucinations he gets, the flashes of walkers and things like that. Just brilliantly done. And you just feel like awful for him when they leave him there in the tree. So hopefully in season 4 we'll see if the walker on the tree is Jim. He also says too in this episode, I noticed, he's like, oh, another tree, and he looks up. So could that walker be him sitting in the tree? Is it the same tree, or does Walker Jim just like to sit on trees? I don't know. Tree sitting. Tree hugger? Tree sitter? Whatever. Anyway, really touching scenes with him too. A lot of sorrow, going through with the events after, the attack in Vatos. But again, that's a staple of how well the show is put together, that we care about these characters that we literally just got to meet. Another theme that is starting to go in this episode, really starting to kick off, is Shane and Rick starting to have disagreements, fight over control of the group. You have Shane's hot-headedness starting to shine through right away as he is out on basically going over a walk with Rick, and they're just checking the area. And you can see Shane, and he starts to pull the gun towards Rick. And all of us are thinking at that point, oh, it's going to be just like the comic books. He's going to, Carl's going to come out in a minute, and then something's going to happen, and Rick's going to kill Shane. He's going to die right here and then. But I liked the decision that they kept Shane in for the other season. I mean, there's so many things in season 2 that were so well done because he was there. And so this episode is really cool for that, because it's like, that's the beginning of when all that stuff went down. Another thing I wanted to mention was that the intro from season 1, from this episode and just season 1, is my favorite intro for the Walking Dead series. Not sure exactly why I like it more as an intro versus season 2 or season 3. I think it's mostly because it it feels closer to home because you have like the picture frames. You see Shane in a picture. You see, like Rick's family. You see, well, it just feels really like personal, as an intro for Rick and Shane and Lori and all those things that are happening in that whole character driven type of intro. I guess I would call it, and I love that. And that's something that in season 3 I think they may have not lost entirely, but they may have taken a step back when it comes to those really strong character ties and the emotional ties to the character that Frank Darabont did so well. So this one is my favorite intro as well too from the season. Okay, so those are most of the main themes of the episode. Also, the group leaving the camp. They're for the first time they're deciding we're going to leave. You have Shane and Rick. They're arguing. Rick wants to go to the CDC, which ends up being a pretty good decision. Because they at least get in and get a day of being able, or a couple days of being able to relax and chill, at least a good night's sleep where they're safe up until crazy Dr. Jenner tries to kill them all. But you could argue he's not really crazy. Well, he's sort of like that mad scientist archetype type character. I would like to think of Jenner as, and he's an interesting character too, and he gets introduced in this episode as well, which I liked a lot too. So you have that, and Shane wants to go to Fort Benning, and yes, I was wrong. It was my memory was incorrect. It's not Fort Bennett. It's Fort Benning. It always has been Fort Benning. Could be the Southern accent. Could just be fuzzy logic in the memory. You guys do know after a couple years your memory starts to become more clouded. It's not as you don't remember things as well. It always was Fort Benning. So my mistake. It was not Fort Bennett. He always wanted to go there. So hopefully in season 4 we'll actually get to see Fort Benning. Hopefully we'll see what happens, but hopefully we will see what's going on there. If it's been overrun, is the military still there? What's happening? Was Shane right all along, or was he completely wrong? So hopefully we'll see. Maybe at least, hopefully they'll stop by Fort Benning. I'd like to see that. So we'll see what happens with that. So that was another theme. And then at the ending, of course, we meet Jenner. It's funny. The first time I watched this episode, and it flashes over after the commercials to the Dr. Jenner recording his vlog, his video log to himself, and you see like the typing and different stuff at the CDC and all that. I was like, did something happen to the channel? Did I switch the channel or something? Because I just was like, am I watching The Walking Dead? Still, it didn't feel like The Walking Dead. And that's cool that this episode was really one of the first big pushes away from the comic book series, where it's really different from the comic book series. We're getting new characters, new material in here. In the comic book series, never went to the CDC. So I really like that they decided to go a totally new direction where we're not familiar with it, and we get to see new character Jenner, who has that mad scientist feel. And I do enjoy him as a character in the series as well, too. Especially in TS19, which a lot of people like that episode a lot. I can't wait to review that next. Hopefully, within the next week or two, I'll be able to review that. I want to do that for Breaking Bad starts. Yeah, because then I'll be reviewing Breaking Bad after, and it's probably a good idea to do that first. So, but anyway, I think Jenner's an awesome character, and we're just getting introduced to him here. He's drinking. He's basically. It seems like he was by himself there at the CDC, staying alive by some kind of a purpose or goal that he was trying to find a cure or something to understand the virus and how they could maybe counteract it or do something so people won't turn if they're bitten or if they die. So obviously that didn't work out, but he's still an interesting character. I think personally, my thoughts on your mad scientist coming up with cures and stuff like that in a zombie apocalypse, I find it to be unrealistic. In a zombie apocalypse like that, I mean, for doctors to be able to, it takes so long for them to study things. In my experience from science, because I have a bachelor's of science, those types of things take so long, Granted, it's not biology, it's computer science, but still, when you're doing research and you're trying to understand things like this, the amount of time it takes is years, years to especially one person by himself. It would be years and years and years. So it's just not practical, I think, for a zombie apocalypse for a doctor to come up with a solution or something like that. Unless you have like a Negan type situation in the comic books or a Milton type situation where he can work for a couple years, and that's all he'll do is just for every day, all the time, do research and do these types of things and do testing on samples and all this stuff. Maybe then, but not within like a couple months after the zombie apocalypse. It doesn't make sense to me. So I like that they didn't go the route. He understood it to a degree, but he had no answer for it. I like that because that would have been too, I don't know, it wouldn't be realistic enough for him to actually be like, oh yes, here's a cure, let me give it to all of you guys. Okay, you're fine now, you can't get infected anymore. No, I don't see that as realistic. So I liked everything and how they handled Jenner, and the CDC was lots of fun. Let's see. So I made a lot of notes here. There's lots of different cool things that happened in the episode. Probably one of the best zombie kill of the week would have to be Carol when she puts down Ed with the pickaxe. You know, she's coming. I'll do it. It's my husband. I'll do it. And she comes down on it. The angle cuts down, and you just see this head. And she's just like splattering it, and then over again. She's crying, and then she keeps doing it. Like, you bastard. You know, keeps going at it. So I like that. Glenn, you know, our people go over there. We bury them, we don't burn them. You know, so that was cool. Jim, some of Jim's quotes in this, Jim has some really good quotes in the show, talking about his family in the last episode. And this one he says, that sound, that's God laughing while you make plans. And, you know, he's just got some really good quotes, because it's like, yeah, you know, it's kind of silly, because as they're going along, Rick's trying to save him. He's doing the best he can, but really there's no chance. You know, he's got no chance here. So then they have to leave him. So I like that. Everything to do with that was good. Let's see. Andrea's badass moment I talked about. Rick and Shane I talked about. Morgan. Rick's talking to Morgan a couple times, or trying to, with the walkie-talkie. He leaves a note for him in this episode, so that was a nice touch, that he hasn't given up hope on Morgan yet, and that we get to see him later. Lots of fun. The montage of them driving out, lots of emotion as they're leaving. RV breaking down eventually afterwards. Problems start to arise on the road. And let's see, the sad scene where they all say goodbye to Jim, very touching. I especially like Daryl's, Juan Norman Reedus, where he just kind of looks at him, and first he doesn't do anything. This is so cool. And then he walks away. I don't know. I like that. And Dr. Jenner, I think tomorrow I'll blow my brains out. I like that one too. So overall, amazing episode. Season 1 is short, but it's sweet, man. Short but sweet. Lots of things happen. The quality is insane. Movie quality stuff. The emotional ties, man. Great season. Condensed and very good. This episode I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a great episode. There really, as I look at Season 1, there really are no bad episodes from Season 1. Season 2, there's a couple. There's a couple there where it's like, okay, I'm watching a TV show. Right now in Season 1, as we're watching it through, we're seeing all the episodes, it feels like a movie, like a long movie. That's the quality we're getting. But Season 2, some of the episodes start to a little bit. Season 3, I felt like, in terms of quality, was really good, but it was different. It had more action, more things like that. So, but definitely, with regards to the character development, the emotion, all the things happening in Wildfire, it's a great episode. Another great one. So, that's pretty much all I'm going to say for this review, guys. I hope you enjoy. A little bit of a long one, but, you know, sometimes with some of the reviews, I like to go a little bit more in detail, and only have one left to do, and the reviews are complete for every episode of The Walking Dead, TS19. I'll do it as soon as I can, guys. With that being said, I'll call it here. That's it for this video. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.